And so it's going to be very important for us to rethink learning environment and delivery.
Yes.
We're going to have to introduce technology increasingly into the education space. And in my view, we have to do it very fast. We've got to now go the direction of e-learning to augment the human element so that the teachers can communicate. See, right now, there are applications which enable both the teacher and the parent to track even the whereabouts of the kids in real time. And it can report to the parent the level of the battery of the gadget that the child has. So if the child switches it off, the parent will know that it's deliberate and it's something that will need to be checked. That's one. Two, when they get to the school, the gadget should be able to report that they're in school. And so the parent at any given time will know where the child is, what is happening, and the teacher will also. So we need to start piloting some of these programs very quickly. I know what you guys are going to say. No, it's not in the policy or what. No. Policies that have not served us, we're going to have to abandon.
Yes.
We're going to have to try new things. Even if they're not written anywhere, we're going to experiment on the trot to make sure that we deliver the best results. That is one idea. There's another idea, very wild and radical. And I'm always interested in the crazy ideas that people bring to me. Some are suggesting a devolution of power and authority to the schools and teachers so that government plays a limited role in the day-to-day running of the school. Yes. All government does is to set standards and say, we want our kids to be at this level.
Yes.
It is your job to deliver.
Yes.
Here is the school, properly maintained, in mint condition. We maintain, we give it to you and say, this is your school. Put yourselves together, organize PTA, whatever you want to do, structure yourselves and run this thing.
Yes.
And here's a monthly subvention, whatever you want to call it, enough to take care of this. Deliver 90% pass rates, deliver us the best results.
Yes.
And then we have an inspectorate that goes around and checks whether there's compliance. So that the management, the day-to-day, the operational issues of any school are vested in the people at that school. So we have vanguards of competition and cooperation. Something that has not been tried here, maybe even anywhere else. But if we have to pioneer it and lead the world, we will have to. We'll explore, we'll examine, and we'll pilot some of these ideas. In 1957, the Russians sent a space shuttle, Sputnik, into orbit. The Americans were shocked and horrified because there was a competition between these superpowers. The president in America at the time, Dwight Eisenhower, called an emergency meeting and wanted to find out how the Russians could beat America and put a satellite into space. Called all the experts, and they said to him, let's go and check. And they went and looked at what the Russians were doing, and they realized that the Russians had invested long and heavily in science and technology. They identify their children early in the learning and channel them into science, engineering, mathematics. Not only that, they compared the curricula. At this level, what has an American learner achieved compared to a Russian student? They found out that the Russians were 20, almost 100 times far ahead. And so what he did, after that meeting, he pumped $300 million into the education system immediately, because he realized that they were lagging behind. Without a thorough investment in education, everything else that we do is a waste of time. We need to educate these kids. They are the diamonds, not those natural stones dug from the base of the earth. These kids are the real diamonds of this country. And we must invest in them deliberately, intentionally, and fully. So that's what it's about. So when we bring technology into the mix, we can track even the performance of each teacher. We are able to do that. We can tell, is the teacher preparing enough? Are the materials shared? So that the kids don't have to sit there writing notes. The material is already available on the iPad and they can read, and when they get to class, it's interactive, so that they also play an active part. The students must not be passive in the learning system. Sure, you know all these things, but we don't practice them. We use what Paulo Freire called the banking concept of education. The teacher teaches, the students are taught. The teacher thinks, the students are thought about. So the teacher comes to deposit, and the examination is a withdrawal. It wants the student to reproduce exactly as was given. That's not learning. True. So we need to completely revolutionize, change the education space. So all of us have to work together. I'll at some point maybe move around and meet the teachers themselves and understand things from their standpoint. So thank you very much.
And in particular, with the reference to corporal